Welcome into episode number 150 of The Voice Behind the Voice. I'm Sean Aronson, the TV and radio broadcaster for the St. Paul Saints, an independent minor league baseball team in the Twin Cities. I had kind of an odd thing happen to me a couple of weeks ago that came to fruition today, actually, as I talked to you on March the 11th. A couple of weeks ago, I got a letter in the mail, crumpled up letter that was then uncrumpled and put into a manila envelope addressed to me. And I thought it was creative. It basically said, I know that you weren't expecting this letter. It's why I already did half the job for you. Crumpled up the letter so that it will be easier for you to throw out. But before you do, and then it went on to talk about how someone had recommended me to this person that they were looking to help me in my dress, meaning suits, ties, shirts, khakis, whatever, slacks, I guess, not khakis. And I thought, all right, well, that's very nice. Who in their right mind recommended me? Was it a friend? Was it a coworker? Was it an ex-girlfriend? Who knows? I don't know. And so I thought, whatever, great, throw it away. Maybe it's just some sort of form letter that they blanket the area with. And, well, last week I got a call from the person that sent me this letter. And looking to become my personal shopper, right? And I told the guy on the phone, he was very nice, and I was very nice to him because I understand what it's like to be the sales guy this time of the year. And I said to him, look, I'm always willing to listen, but you've got the wrong guy here. Like, I'm not your demographic for this. I don't know how you got my name. I don't know what makes you think that a minor league baseball broadcaster can afford someone to pick out their clothes for them. But I'm always willing to listen. If you've got something that you want to sell me and you can wow me, by all means. And then he asked me a few questions on my shopping habits and all that. So today we met, and, you know, he comes in with a little binder of different types of fabric, different colors of fabric, things of that nature. And of course, all you're looking for is what is this going to cost? And basically, suits started at $750. Dress shirts started at $150, and slacks started in the $200 price point. And I looked at him and I said, look, I appreciate you coming out, but I'm not your guy. Because every time I wore something that cost, $500, if we're talking, khakis or slacks and a dress shirt, or $750, $800 if we're talking a suit. Again, that's the cheap end. That was the least expensive that they had. I said I would freak out knowing that I was wearing something that cost that much. Now, if I was in a different part of my life where I was making substantially more money, talking a different story. And I even joked with him, if I ever reach the major leagues, by all means, feel free to reach out to me. We can talk at that point. I feel like I'd be in a better position. I'm sure I'm not going to be making money hand over fist at that point, but making more money than I'm making right now. And again, I'm not discounting the money I make right now. I'm pretty well taken care of for a minor league broadcaster, but it is still a minor league broadcaster. And at the end, I finally asked him, I said, did someone actually pass my name on to you? And that's when he divulged that, no, he didn't. He searched online, and they subscribed to some sort of website or something like that, and my name popped up. I don't know. But I just thought it was humorous that someone out there thought that anyone in minor league baseball would be a candidate for a personal shopper. So, again, not killing the kid at all. He was doing his job. I thought he did a very nice job, but by no means am I in a position to spend $700, $800 on a suit for a suit that I'd probably wear maybe twice a year. Again, it's nice. It looks good, but I got other things that take precedence before that. So that's my little story. And with that, perhaps for episode number 150, I should have come better dressed than what I am right now, because I don't know if you believe in the even numbers or every 50th or whatever it is, it's a big milestone, then we can look at episode number 150 as a big milestone. And so I was looking for someone with a little bit of national appeal, and I was able to sit down with Chris Cuthbert, who does play-by-play for the NHL, for TSN, and for NBC Sports Network. In town to do the Wild game last week. I think they were playing the Predators last week, I believe. By the way, this is the second episode I recorded, I guess now a little over a week ago, of my 3 in that 1 week where I was still a little bit under the weather. So again, that'll come across. But extremely generous with his time, great stories. We talked towards the end about him doing the very first game for the Humboldt hockey team following the season in which the bus crash happened. The very next season, they did the first game. Actually, TSN did the broadcast. They went all out for this. We talked about that along with a number of other things, but kind of an emotional story for him and an emotional moment for many people in that area of Canada and probably across Canada as a whole, and hockey fans and the hockey community as a whole. But we always try to get somewhat of a big name or a national name for those 50, 100, 150, and if I'm fortunate enough to be doing this on number 200, hope to at that point. It doesn't always work out, but Chris Cuthbert was kind enough to join me. And if you are a hockey fan, and I know I've got plenty of people from Canada that listen, Chris Cuthbert is a pretty big name in the NHL circles, so I think you'll enjoy this. If you've not subscribed to the podcast, you can do so on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. Again, be sure to rate it and tell your friends about it. We're 150 episodes into this, and I know that there are some people that have listened to all previous 149. I know there are some that pick and choose the episodes they want to listen to, but I always appreciate when you tell a friend or two about this podcast. It's the way it grows, and it's grown by leaps and bounds since when we started this. I don't know, what is it, 3 years ago now? It was about 3 years ago, March, right? It was almost to the day, I would think, that I started this podcast. So it's kind of impressive to think about. If you're not following us, do so. Social media, we're everywhere. Well, some places, not really everywhere, but on Twitter, at The Voice BTV, Facebook.com/TheVoiceBTV, and you can always email me, thevoicebtv@gmail.com. All right, let's get to it. Episode number 150 with Chris Cuthbert, TSN at NBC Sports Network. JW, a man who has been with me since day one. Thank you. Roll the open.
I remember walking into town to do a radio interview about noon that day, and it went well. And at the end, the radio host said, "Is there anything you want to say to the people of Humboldt?" And again, my career had started in that very league, and I'd been to Humboldt for games back in 1979-80. And I kind of broke down right in the interview, and I walked out afterwards and I thought, we're never getting through this tonight.